Either Facebook fixed the thing where you can choose your camera, or I finally found it. I don't know which. So, hello, I am live. My camera is not right in front of me. I can look at the camera, but then I feel weird. Anyway, I am at my spinet. So spin it, yay spin it. Meow, meow. Let's see if I can do this. There we are. I still have the most basic of setups. I am not fancy. I'm gonna wait for people to get here. Whoop. There we go. Well, let me see. What do I want to do here? Oh, here. There I am. Look at that. Fabulous. Oh, look at that keyboard. It's not perfect, but it's okay. Nyonk, nyonk. Well, let's see. Maybe if I push this a little further away. No, because I want it over the keyboard. I'll just go back and forth. So no one's here yet. So I have 3 more minutes. So if you're watching this as a later video, recorded video in the playlist, just forward ahead to wherever I have the time marker that says this actually starts. And if you have no idea who I am, this is Piano Tech Maggie. I like sharing things about aural piano tuning, but we're not started yet. I mean, I'm started, but we're not officially started yet. I have to wait till I have at least one person here. And I have 2 things I want to share. So I have 2 minutes. I started early because I haven't quite confirmed that I understand how to schedule these yet. So I just start the live stream early, and that way people have a few minutes to find it, which is not awesome, but it's how I've been doing it. So starting next month, I hope to have a link ahead of time, have it scheduled. I don't know if that will make any difference with the live stream stuff. I don't think anyone will get a notification until it starts, but at least I can share a link with people so they don't have to go hunting it down. I will figure it out eventually, but for the moment, this is how I'm doing it. Hello. Hi! Hi, Dolly. Lock? Lock? What is lock? 2 people are here. Hello, whoever is here. What does lock mean? Lock. It says lock. Lock. Hi, Kyle. Hi! So Kyle has already seen what I'm about to do. Dolly, I don't think you have. You'll find this interesting, actually. Who else is here? Dolly's laughing. Okay. Oh, I got 4 people. Okay, I have 2 things to share today before anyone even asks questions. Dolly's excited. I'm glad. It's going to be kind of cool, I think, because the spinet is somewhat predictable, which I like because it makes my life easier. Oh, we're back down to 3. Someone popped on here who was not interested in aural piano tuning. So I'm going to share... Why don't I share something first? Because I'm going to make a separate video about this later. And I'll just share it now to put something up there. Yeah, what you gonna do? Richard, Renaissance. Okay. Okay, 2 things. The first one's kind of short. And I think I am going to move the camera to over the keyboard. So give me a moment here. Meow. And let's see. It doesn't matter what octave I'm in. Let me go A. A to A. Okay. That does not sound lovely. Oh my god. That's totally messed up. I just realized I have a fan on, so everybody bear with me while I turn this fan off. There we go. That should turn it off. I don't know how much it'll affect the sound. All right. So I was thinking the other day, if you have an octave, all right, then within this octave, it doesn't matter what octave, any octave, All right. You have a lower fourth and an upper fifth and an upper fourth and a lower fifth. And I want to talk about that. So the measurement, what I just did here, that's the measurement for a 4 to 2 octave, meaning I'm measuring it at the second coincident partial. Okay? And actually, this is going to be perfect because it's already pretty darn close to pure. Even narrow, and I'm going to explain why that is not a good thing in my new opinion. So, if I have let me think here. Yeah, this lower fourth, upper fifth, okay? The measure for the octave at the second coincident partial is the major third below. It's also the measure of the fourth. Okay, and the fourth should be wide, which means the sixth should be faster. And it's the measure of this fifth, the first coincident partial, that same check note. Oh, this is interesting. I believe this is proving my point right here. I'm so glad I have this on film. How cool. Okay. I would not tune this way if I had done it orally. So, here's why. If you have a 4 to 2 octave pure, let's throw some beat rates in here just to get our hands on some numbers to make it a little more solid. Let's say this is 7 beats a second, and let's say this is 8 beats a second, because a fourth is a beat a second. So if F to A is 7, F to D should be 6, right? Okay, if I have a 4 to 2 octave, that means this is 7, but F3 to A4 is also 7. All right, if this is 7 and this is 8, then the measure for my fifth is back to 8 and 7, which means it's a beat a second. And listen to that, it's noisy. So you cannot, this is my, in fact, I'm going to delete a video I made a while back. You cannot have an octave tuned pure at the second coincident partial and have your internal fifth and fourth anything other than the same distance from pure, equally tempered. And ideally, we want our fifth to be closer to pure than our fourth. We want the fifth to be a little wider. The only way we can do that, because no matter where I put this D, my fourth and my fifth will be equally tempered. They'll be the same. So the only way I can do that is to make the octave wider. I could raise A4 or lower A3 and make my fifth closer to pure. That's the only way. There's no other way. So 7, 8, 7. You cannot have a 4 to 2 octave anywhere on the piano and have the internal fifth and fourth tempered differently. So, new rule. Now, looking at this same thing with the lower fifth and upper fourth, okay, the measurement for this fourth is here. So let's say this is, let's just say it's 9. It's normally not, wait, what's 11? So this should be 10. Okay, so this is 10 beats a second. That means this should be 11 beats a second. Okay? Therefore, if I have a 6/3 octave, because this is the check note for a 6/3 octave, and this is narrow at the 6/3 measurement, third coincident partial, which is good. It should be, but it should be wide from the second. So if I have it pure, if these were equal, then this would be 10, this would be 11, but this would be 11, because we're pure. So if these are both 11, and I tune this fourth to beat a second, then this is now 10. Well, my fifth is now tempered at the second coincident partial, the same amount my fourth is tempered. Now, this is not necessarily as much of a problem, because if a fifth is only a beat a second at the second coincident partial, it's probably pure to wide at the first. So our fifth is not going to be too narrow here. It's either going to be good depending on the inharmonicity of the piano. It might actually be fine, or it could be wide. Therefore, if it's on a piano, big if, if it's on a piano with the right inharmonicity, then if you tune a 6/3 octave, you cannot tune a fourth to be a beat a second, the upper fourth to be a beat a second, without the lower fifth potentially being wide at the first coincident partial. So one must be careful of that. But there's no hard and fast rule there, because fifths at the second coincident partial can be very different. They can be close to the same measurement as the first coincident partial, or drastically different depending on the piano and the inharmonicity of the piano. So that was my introduction. Woohoo! Any questions about this before I move on to my spinet tuning? I'm going to tune my spinet. You have to ask a question or say move on, or I'm going to keep doing this. I'm kidding. No questions. Okay, so those are my new things, and I do want to make a video on that. I'm trying to decide. I guess I'll just tune. I'll leave my camera here. Where's my tuning lever? There's my tuning lever. Okay, I'm going to move it. Mirror, mirror, mirror. Okay, so this is a Wurlitzer spinet, and the break is between, where am I on the key? Oh, there I am, okay. Between D3 and D sharp 3. That's where the break is. But the wound strings go up to G3. Okay. So the reason I'm telling you that is the first wound string is where everyone runs into trouble. We run into trouble with our ears, and ETDs run into trouble. It's across the board. There's no exceptions. And I'm not going to say what ETD I tuned this with. I have access to 4 of them, and they all do exactly the same thing. All of them. So it doesn't matter which one I tuned it with. So what I want to show you is we're gonna go above the first wound string and start checking thirds. Oh. Might be too slow. Yep, something's up there. I might come back to that. Did you hear that? So I'm going to start ghosting these. Give me a second. Wait. Oh my god. Oh! I don't have these muted. I can't ghost them. Let me think. What am I going to do? It's up. It's 2 octaves above my upper note. Let's see if I can mute it with my thumb. Kinda, sorta. Let's see. It's not awesome. I'll do it anyway. And then this one. That's not wonderful. So I'm going to sing it. See, that's a little faster. Oh, it's a lot faster. So I want to address that first wound string. Now on some pianos, when you hit that first wound string, it's going to slow way down. And sometimes it happens in the lower unwound strings. It just depends on the scaling of the piano. It's not always the first wound string. Sometimes it's the low tenor before the first wound string. But for this presentation, I'm gonna hit that puppy. So because this is significant. I'm curious about sixth. Oh, okay, that actually sped up also. So G is my question now. Let me get my lever on it. Now, this is faster, so I potentially want to bring up G. I'm going to look at the fifth and fourth above it. Let's look at the fourth. there's enough room in that fourth to bring up G. Okay, let me check the fifth. That's pretty quiet. I'm going to measure it at the first consonant partial. There's a room to bring up G. It's pretty close to pure, so I definitely have room. Just for the heck of it, I'm going to check my octave. Not much room to bring up G there. I'm going to do it anyway. So I'm breaking my own rule. You know what? Revelation, I just had that revelation the other day, a new revelation. Maybe that's why ETDs push those down so much. I'm going to bring it up just a little bit. So let's see, what do I want to listen to? Whoops. I think I put it back where it was. That's wide. Oh my gosh, it's wide. Oh yeah, I put it below where it was. Be able to slow this down enough, but you do what you can. Okay, this is closer to equal. Let me check my fifth and fourth again. Okay, so I've moved it actually a small amount. My fifth is a little narrow, my fourth is still wide. It's still speeding up, but not as much. That's closer to equal beating. Let me check my octave. Let's see if I've messed it up too much. Oh, I messed it up too much. So, yep, I'm going to have to come down a little bit more. Is too narrow, but that's better. So I could come down a hair more. I'm going to go ahead and let the major third speed up a little. To save my octave. I don't like that. Oh! Interesting, because usually my octave will come out good when I do this, so I'm glad I checked it. I'm going to end up putting it back where it was. Ha! Well, I can't go any lower because my fifth is pure. And I can't really go much. That's the best spot. So my fourth is not as wide as it was. It's almost pure. My fifth is narrow, but it's not insane. It's beady. And my octave is definitely too narrow. But I like this better. So let's keep going. Real slow. So let me check both check my F sharp. Oh my gosh, listen to that beat. And sure enough, a pure octave. Wow. Fifth is wide at the second coincident partial. It's wide at this first. Yeah, so this piano would be a little hard to tune. It could be done though. So this definitely has to come up. This is a little fast and this is slow. That has to come up. So let's do that. And I'm not trying to tune the piano early. I'm just trying to smooth over the break and improve it a little bit to make that ETD tuning a little better. So I'm going to make my fifth narrow. Okay, that fourth is a little wide. Let's see where my fifth is. Fifth is a hair narrow. Okay, let's see where my major third is. Hey! That's pretty good. That's better. So I improved this, and I improved this, I improved this, and that. Let's see how bad the octave is. It's narrow. But it's overall though, I'd rather have a slightly narrow octave here than a wide fifth. And the rule I said earlier only applies with regular inharmonicity. And I'm realizing that very much now because, I mean, I could go over the whole thing orally, but I'm not tuning it orally. I'm just saying how can we improve this from an ETD tuning? And it's really just focusing right around that first wound string, padding the fifths and fourths to get your fast beating intervals closer without compromising the fifths, fourths, or octaves too much. It usually makes it sound better. Let's see, is your ETD... Oh, that's a good question. No, it was not. Nope. That's a good question. Renaissance asked, is your ETD doing perfect 12 tunings? Very good question. Nope, it's just a spinet. And they all do this. And I'm starting to wonder if this one didn't even move on its own, because that was pretty extreme, but I don't know. Let me go over the thirds again. Let's see what we have here. I'll come back to that. Check the E and the C both. So what I'm using my major thirds for is to look for something irregular. Then once I find that, I check the fifths, fourths, and octaves around it. So I'm wondering if this could come up a little. Because that's, you know, it's supposed to be slow fast, but check it. Maybe. So it definitely came at the fourth. Let's check the fifth. I'm playing G off the screen here. Ah. Well, it's, you know, it's okay, but I could raise it a little. Listen, the octave is wide. Okay. I'm definitely raising that. Definitely raising that. What do I want to listen to? I want to listen to my fourth. Not that far. Let's see. fifth now. So I might bring it back down again, but let's see. I think I brought it up too far. Yeah, so back down just a little. Okay, that might be too far again. Nope, it's not. Okay, here we go again. So I could bring that down just a hair more. Yeah, so let's address this now. Because I raised G, so I just sped this major third up. Woo-hoo! That's down there. So all this says I can raise it. My fourth is wide, my fifths are close to pure. Let's raise it a little bit. Let's raise it. To lower it a little more. Yeah. Okay, I got those progressing. I think I got it. Better. An octave is still wide, so I could raise it a little more, but I don't want to speed up this major third too much. I could raise it a little more. There we go. You know, so that's the kind of thing I like to do across the break if I've used an ETD. Although usually I don't do it this way. I don't tune with a whole ETD and then go back and fix it. I usually, honestly, I just tune from C4 up, and then from C4 down, I kind of do it hybrid. That's my preference if I'm tuning with an ETD. So let's see. What do you think about Perfect 12? I have mixed feelings about it. Adrian, hello. Suitable on all pianos. Oh. Okay, that's actually a good question, and you'll get different answers from different people. So let me give you my answer for what it's worth. A perfect 12th tuning, is it suitable for all pianos? Okay, so here's the deal. It depends on your definition of a perfect 12th tuning. In fact, hold on. I don't need my piano to answer that question. There I am. Hi. Whoops. I can do this. Can I do this? I can do this. Ha! Okay, so a perfect 12th tuning, it depends on how you define it. My opinion, strictly my opinion, not fact, and other people have different opinions as to what it is. I feel like a perfect 12th tuning is where you get your 12ths as close to perfect as you can for whatever that piano you're tuning will allow. So if you define it that way, excuse me, then yes, it's suitable for all pianos because some pianos won't allow a pure 12th. Oh, I said perfect 12th. I'm so sorry. Pure 12th tuning. And I have, actually, let me show you something. Well, okay, I'll get back to that. I'll show you something about that on the piano. But some people define a pure 12th tuning as having an actual pure 12th. Some pianos it won't work on, especially lesser pianos. If you have a piano, a higher end piano with, I don't know about inharmonicity and pure 12th tunings. I've got to think about that. But I know pure 12ths won't work on some pianos. But if you push it toward a pure 12th, as far as it'll go, for whatever the piano will allow, I don't see why it's not fine. So let me show you my new thinking about pure 12ths. I'm gonna go back to my keyboard because I got another thingy here. Let's see. I gotta get up high enough to have. Come on, you can do it. There I am. Oh boy. Now we can see a pure 12th. Hold on my piano. Did I do it? I did it. Woo! Look at me. Okay. Here's a pure 12th. It's a little left on the screen, but it's a pure 12th. Let's talk about this for a second. If I have a pure 12th, I can measure it at the second coincident partial this way. Okay? Now, if I have a fifth at the bottom of it, I measure it the same way. Okay? Now, if my 12th is pure at the second coincident partial, these are equal beating. Okay? If my fifth is narrow, then this major third will be slower. All right? So if I have C3 to E flat 3, and then E flat 3 to G4, if those are equal beating, let's just say those are equal beating. Just forget about it for a moment, but they're equal beating. Then I have C3, E flat 3, E flat 3, G3, and I tune it to where G is a little flat. I mean, of pure. A little, the fifth is slightly narrow of pure. So let's say that C to E flat, just for the sake of discussing it, is beating 7 beats a second. Then E flat to G might be beating 6.5 or something like that. Maybe a little more. 6 3/4, okay? Let's say 6.5, okay? Now, if this is 7, if the minor third is 7, and the 10th is 7, and this is 6.5, then my octave is wide of a 42 octave, which is what I want. So my thinking, I'll tell you what my thinking was before, and I think I was wrong, but I don't know why yet. I'm having a little bit of a cognitive dissonance with something. I haven't figured it out. If anyone knows, please tell me. So I can have, as far as this octave and this fifth goes, ignoring everything else, which you can't do on a piano, but just for the moment, ignoring everything else. If this octave is slightly wide and this fifth is slightly narrow, I can end up with a 12th that's pure at the second coincident partial. Another part of me doesn't know how that's possible because, where are my inharmonicity strips? Oh, I have them. Let's see if I can work this out live in my brain. Okay, so here's a fifth. Here's my little inharmonicity strip. Okay, so if I have a fifth that's tuned, wait, am I on the screen? Yes, I am. If I'm tuned pure at the second coincident partial, okay, I am narrow at the second coincident partial. Okay, so I'm having a hard time with this because if I tune this fifth pure at the second coincident partial, I'm wide at the first. Let me go back to this other one. narrow at the second, which is what I had. And this is the octave. If I'm pure at the first, I'm narrow at the second. I've got to work out the 12th in all this. Whoops. So if the 12th, it's going to be the same thing. If I'm pure at the first coincident partial, I'm narrow at the second. So if I tune a 12th pure at the second coincident partial, I'm wide at the first. So at the moment, I don't see how it can't be okay to have a pure 12th and everything else work. But my thinking before was that you couldn't have a pure 12th in an octave. I mean, excuse me. That was really stupid. You can't have a pure 12th on a piano without the fifths being wide. And I'm trying to remember why I believed that. But at the moment, I'm thinking I was wrong because of this. So if I tune a 12th pure at the first coincident partial, what else can I compare that to? I've got a 6th here. Here's the 5th. Oh god, that's wide. Okay, I need to fix that. So C has to come up. This is another thing about the spinet that fits this way. I did move G, so now I gotta go back and fix C. That's the problem with doing this after the fact, but sometimes it works out really well. But this, I'm glad this happened. You have to check everything. So anyway, going back. If I have a 12th, and I'm playing E flat down there. If my E flat to C, let's say it's 7 again, okay? That means if I have a 12th pure at this first coincident partial, this is also 7, okay? Then if this is 7, this could be 6.5, and then it's the same thing. I believe I had 12ths backwards for a long time in my head, and it's only recently it hit me like a brick wall. Like, oh my god, duh. So I think pure 12ths are suitable on all pianos as long as you understand some pianos have idiosyncrasies with their inharmonicity. Those are a lot of big words, and maybe they're not possible everywhere, but it's right there. So if my 5th is narrow and my 12th is pure and it works, then you can do it. Is there any reason why you would choose a certain coincident partial over another? Yeah. Not to tune pure, but just to listen to. So for example, my 5th here, in theory, the first coincident partial should be closer to pure than the second. So I'm just going to pick one that's easier to hear, and I'll just know that the second coincident partial should be a little more narrow. So let's fix the C. Let's fix the C. Let's see here. I can do this. Wait. Oh, wrong one. Okay, sorry. Okay, so I'm going to fix my C. Let's check the octave. Yeah, that's wide. So I'm going to have to check this major third when I'm done with that. Domino effect. Okay. So I've got the 5th kind of pure now. 4th is still wide. Well, why did I do that? Oh my gosh. Ugh. Now that's too fast. So yeah, I would go back and actually lower that E a little bit, and then lower the C a little bit. That's what I would do if I ran into that error like I just created for myself, like in the 5th, for example. Oh yeah, so the 5th. Yeah, as I go down, I'm going to be listening more and more to the second coincident partial. And I know that it should be more narrow at the second. However, as you get lower, stretch increases not because we necessarily want our octaves by themselves to be wider, but because as we go down, we want those partials to line up with our mid-range. So we stretch down, and we're going to be pushing our fifths closer to pure anyway. So fifths should be, and 12ths should be where does my screen go down to? Here. So, well, it's not very far down there, but 12ths, my rule with 12ths is they should not be wide. So as I go down, I'm looking to have pure 12ths into the bass, regardless of how I'm tuning. I'm looking to have pure 12ths. That's my bottom limit. And then another bottom limit is those shouldn't speed up. Yeah, I gotta fix C. I messed C up. I messed E up. I pushed it too far. So the ETD actually did a pretty good job on this spinet. But I moved everything the right direction, just a little too far. So did I answer the question about the fifths? Oh, what is stretch or tuning style? Is it subjective or does it naturally happen? How? Oh, I can answer that question. Okay, so as we go down, let's look at an octave because it's kind of simple. Oh, wait. Where's the bottom of my? There it is. There. I want to get down to the bass a little bit because that's what we're talking about. Okay, so I have an octave with inharmonicity. I can't tune it at any particular coincident partial. I can't tune it at all coincident partials at the same time. I have to pick one. So in the mid-range, we tend to pick a little bit hair wide of 4-2 and a little narrow of 6-3 right here. So in other words, this is a 2-1 octave. These are coincident partials coming up from the notes. They line up, partials coming up from the notes, and then where they line up is the coincident partial. This is 2-1. This is 4-2. This is 6-3. That's 8-4 here. So if I tune it between a 4-2 and a 6-3, I'm going to get my best balance. However, going down, the inharmonicity from these lower notes is going to really shoot up high by the time it's up here. And so we have to push them down more, even just to have a 2-1 octave. We have to push them even further down. So even a 2-1 octave, oh my God, I apologize. 4-1, not 2-1. 4-1 octaves going into the bass. You kind of have some wiggle room because octaves are so flexible, because there's a lot of ways to line them up. But if you just line up coincident partials, that stretch, quote unquote, is going to happen all by itself. You don't need to push it. If I line up an octave to be 4-1, that's not how I tune, but if I did, it would be stretched. I am pushing 12ths as I go down, and my fast beating intervals need to slow down. So there's two bottom limits right there. The 12th needs to be quiet. There's an upper limit. Minor intervals, not narrow intervals, minor thirds need to also slow down. So there's an upper limit because they're narrow. So you can't raise them too high. I hope that made sense. I'm rambling just a little bit here. I have videos about, actually, thinking, I don't think I have a really, really good video about stretch, so I need to do that. And as far as tuning styles go, I feel like it's the difference between one tuning style and another is so small. If the piano's tuned well, it's tuned well. It's really tiny. And in the mid-range, you're not going to notice as much of a difference. Let me think. If you tune your fifths as close to pure as you possibly can and still get the octave to work, you're going to be stretching it quite a bit, and it's really hard to do that. But if you do that, as you work out, you're going to end up with pure 12ths. The further I go down in the bass, I'm trying to think of ways to answer the question. The further I go down in the bass, the sharper the partials are going to get in the mid-range from each note. And so the further down I have to push it to get the partials to line up. That's stretch. high treble. Oh yeah, yeah, high treble. Okay, let's see. Okay, so with the high treble, let's see if I can line my camera up a little better. Meow, meow, yay. Okay, the top octave is the hardest. So when I'm tuning up, I'm doing fifths, fourths, fast beating intervals, definitely past C5. Once I get, let me think, somewhere between C5 and A5, I change strategies. Anywhere in here depends on what I'm doing, but this is what Rick Butler taught me. So especially here, I'm going to start doing this. And I want the upper one to be a little faster. And the trick then is to have these progress. Oh, where's my left hand? Oh, it's way off the screen here. So sorry. I got a little carried away there. Ah! Meh. I put it higher than I thought I did. There we go. So, so like if I'm tuning A, I'm going to be here. And then up here. Sorry. And I'm going to check my fifths and fourths, but less and less as I go higher. I'm going to be listening to 12ths. Make sure they're quiet. Now, as you go down, I mentioned the second coincident partial of the 12th. That's how I measure when I'm down low. As I go up, I measure the first coincident partial of the 12th. And because of something Riley Stairs shared with me, thank you, Riley, I've changed the way I'm tuning the high treble. So, sorry if I'm a little out of it today. But let's see. So, I'm going to do that for quite a ways. So then up higher, there we are. Now, I'm going to take 17ths as far as I can, progressing. I'm not on the screen yet. Now I'm on the screen. On a good piano, I can definitely get I can hear 17ths up to C6. On this piano, I'm sure I could not. Well, let's see. Not useful. So I'm going to start really focusing on octaves and 12ths. So we have an octave, we have a 12th. They should both be quiet. I can measure both of them to a point. I can measure my 12th. And so I have a 6th. And what is that? 17th? Oh my god. A 6th and a 17th. And the 17th should not be faster than the 6th. Okay? Then I of course have if I can hear it, you know, the octave. Now, just with the octave and 12th. If they're both quiet, it's probably good. If the octave is more noisy than the 12th, my upper note is probably sharp because the octaves are going to be wide up here. The single octaves. If the 12th is noisier than the octave, then it's probably flat because 12ths are pure to flat. I mean pure to narrow. I'm sure I've said a million things wrong in this video. So I compare octave and 12th, and I can attempt to measure my octave, but it's easier to hear the 12th. And I take the octave and 12th all the way up. And that's how I'm doing it. Tune 4th, 5th style, by the way. Hi! Let's see. Any tips? Any tips for correcting the temperament octave? That's what I just went over. Oh, the temperament octave. Setting it and getting the first few notes is okay. temperament sharp and spend way too long troubleshooting. Well, I understand that. Okay, if you're only tuning fourths and fifths, you're really limiting yourself. I started out that way, and I was a terrible tuner, which is why I became obsessed with it. Oh gosh, let me come way down again. If you go up a fifth and down a fourth, the wiggle room there is huge. It's absolutely huge. You're really better off. Well, first, you need to know how to measure your fourths and fifths. I'm assuming you know how to do that. So if I'm starting on, well, I don't know if you start on F or A, but let's say we start on F. Either one, it doesn't matter. That's kind of close to pure. Wait a minute, is that wide? No, okay, that's pure. So, yeah, I put it there, I believe. So anyway, I think. So up a fifth, you should know how to measure it. Down a fourth. That's pure. Dang, I don't know that I made my Wurlitzer better. I think I like the ETD tuning. It's just a matter of taste. I would fiddle with it a little more. But I think I did make it better. Okay, so let's see. Really, I recommend learning. There's a lot of stuff I can't show you. So basically, okay, if you go up a fifth and down a fourth, this is your first fast beating interval. Okay, get to know what that is. That should be 8 beats a second if you start on F. If you're starting somewhere else, it's going to be different. Okay, then down a fourth. Fourth is a beat a second, so this should be 7. If you're starting out up a fifth, down a fourth, and you get to here, and this is not 7, and or this is not 8, then you've already messed up. You've got to go back and work on it. Check your fast beating intervals as soon as you have them. I would never tune that way because I would totally botch it. Now here, we've got, we've tuned G. Here's another fast beating interval. We have 8 and 9. Down a fourth. That means this should be 8 again. Those are the same. That should be 8 again. And if you're not getting the fast beating intervals as you go, don't keep going because the notes you're tuning from are already wrong. Get them right first. So that's my advice. Add fast beating intervals. I could say a lot about that, but I can't say it live because I'd be starting to get into things I'm not allowed to share. So I hope that helped a little bit. Anywho, so let's see, what time is it? Oh, that flew by. So I have 10 minutes. Haha, that's super helpful. Thank you. Oh, good. I'm so glad. Yay. Does anyone else have any questions? Let's see. Adrian, thanks so much for answering my questions. Sure. I've always watched your lives after the fact, and I've had these questions brewing for a long time. Glad I could catch you while you were live. I am too. Yay. Thank you both for asking questions because it's really hard to do these if I don't have people ask questions. Although I did have plans for today. And lesson learned, I pushed this a little too far. I was moving everything in the right direction. I just went too far. So at the moment, it's not better. But if I went back and touched it up and just put things a little bit less, I think it would be better. That's my opinion, and I'm sticking to it. So I'm really glad I was able to help. Are there any other questions? Did I not fully answer a question? Because I could try to do that. I'm thinking. Question. I have told people, yay, I'm so excited. In case you didn't notice, I'm a silly person. I've always been a silly person. There we are. Because life is too short to be serious. Although there's a fine line between silly and annoying, and I do cross it. But it's okay. It's worth it. It's okay to be annoying now and then, as long as you don't lose the fun in life. I'm all good. Okay, good. I'm glad. 13. Bonk. So let's see. We talked about my octaves and 12th. I'm glad you asked about the 12th, because I have been thinking about that recently. I'm gonna have to I need to make a video about the octave and the 5th and 4th. I need to make a video about 12th. I'm too busy right now. I'm not gonna have a video. I'm hoping to do 1 or 2 before the convention, but we'll see. Is anyone going to the convention? I am covering for Jack. I'm going to talk unless somebody has a question. I'm covering for Jack Stebbins at the convention. He unfortunately cannot come. And I'm covering for his participation in the Ask a CTE class. And it was originally conceived as, I think, being just a Q&A to CTEs, but they decided to organize it a little more, so each CTE got assigned a topic. My topic is unisons. So I am going to be talking about tuning unisons in that class at the convention. And I think I have a plan. So I think it'll be all right. And then some other CTEs are going to talk about stability and troubleshooting the mid-range. That's going to be good. I have not assigned that topic. Alan Eder, I am going to the convention. See you there, Maggie. Hi, Alan. I will definitely see you there. Hi, Maggie. Chris here. Oh, hi, Chris. Any reason you might get a 5th to where it should sound quiet, that you'd then hear the second coincident partial beating? Oh, yeah. Yeah. If you have a piano with high end harmonicity, the difference between the first and second coincident partial measurements will be big. Absolutely. How you end up tuning those, it really depends on the piano, but you have a little more wiggle room. On my Sommer, what did I do? My Sommer piano, if I tuned my F to C 5th pure, it was really narrow at the second coincident partial, and it worked. But every piano is different. It's maddening. It gets, every time you think you've got a handle on something, a piano will throw you a curveball. It absolutely will. Yeah, for sure you'll hear a second coincident partial beating sometimes. Mackenzie Miguel, I'll be at the convention. It'll be my first, and I scheduled my RPT exams. Woo! Furiously studying every day with your videos. Oh, I'm glad. Email me if you want a little help, prep help. Maggie@pianotechmaggie.com. Just email me. I will be on the exam floor, but I am going to be giving tech exams this time instead of tuning exams, which is so backwards for me. It's crazy. Jean Tates, RPT, great work. Thank you very much. Thank you. I appreciate that. I struggled to learn to tune. It was very painful. There were a lot of tears, and I don't want people to have to go through what I went through. At least maybe not as much. I just want to try to help if I can, everyone's different. Everyone learns differently. People teach differently. I'm going to do online on YouTube. I give out information about everything I wanted when I was learning and couldn't find. And so that's what I'm trying to do. What does it take to become a CTE? Adrian, hello. Okay, so a CTE, Certified Tuning Examiner, you first have to pass the tuning exam above 90%. That's the hardest thing. Well, it depends. It's not always the hardest thing. So you have to pass the tuning exam above 90%, although they're going to change that, hopefully, to where you can train toward the CTE, and it's just part of one of the qualifications. But the way it's been is you have to pass at 91st before you start your training. And I agree with their proposed change of making it so you can start training, but just it's not finalized until you pass the exam above 90%. That makes so much more sense. So all in all, you have to pass the exam above 90%. You have to participate in giving exams, and you have to practice doing certain aspects of giving the exams along the way until you've practiced everything as an examiner, and then you have to do a full exam by yourself, and they observe you. And the last hurdle is humanistics. You can't be a jerk. If someone is not nice to the examinee, they will not be a CTE. You have to be nice to the examinee. So Dolly, smiley face, yee! So that's what it takes to become a CTE. TEC is similar, except you don't have to pass above 90%. You just have to pass, and then part of your training is getting your chops up if you need to. I enjoyed that, and I think I'm going to really enjoy doing tech exams. They're different, so we'll see how I do. Worst case scenario, I just get behind a little bit, because sometimes I'm like, squirrel, I just have to focus. If I focus, I'll be fine. So, anywho, we are at 8:57. There haven't been any other questions other than the CTE one. Dolly, are there ever any truncated videos from the convention available on YouTube? No. Well, not that I'm aware of. No, not on YouTube. Some, I don't know if they're doing it this year. At COVID, they started doing some virtual stuff, and it's available to PTG members or people who paid for the convention. But that's it. It's not full. The convention costs a lot of money to put on. If they gave away the information, too many people would do that, and they wouldn't be able to afford to do the convention. They have to have people come to pay so they can afford to put it on. Did I say that right? So they can afford to, to do the convention. So they can't give it away. They can't afford to. They would die if they did that. So nope. All right. Well, thank you all very much for coming. We still have 10 who stuck with me through my rambling. Oh my gosh. Have a good night. Thanks. You're very welcome. I'm going to sign off here unless I see a question come through in the next 30 seconds. I am tired. You're welcome. Thank you, Chris, for coming. Thank you, Adrian. Thank you, Alan. Thank you, everybody, for coming. I appreciate it very much. I will, the next live stream is, sorry. I looked at the wrong thing. Next live stream is July 30th. And that one will be in the morning, where I'm functioning slightly better. All right. How do I end it? Oh, there it is. End stream. All right. Bye, everybody. Thank you very much. Happy tuning.